is always where your heart is. I don't have much to give, oh no, but Black Bush, here's my gift to you. I'm just a country boy from Black Boulder, letting the world know what is beautiful place, yeah. I'm just a country boy coming from Blackbush Boulder, letting the world know, yeah, oh yeah. Let's be all and my big Tori, Johanna and Yakasari. Them are the place, make up this nice community. Work hard, eat good and live happily. So no rain, we dey back down, we never lazy. Pick up the economy and Tennessee family. Them say be humble, but not take talks for nobody. A lot of man come looking for a larky, cause them know when them get one a real I'm just quality. A country boy from Blackbush Boulder, letting the world know what is beautiful place, yeah. I'm just a country boy coming from Blackbush Boulder, letting the world know, yeah, oh yeah. Me I go big up each and every rice farmer, every fisherman, every cash crop gardener. You want see people work hard, well then come ya. Talk about sport, well it start and it done ya. Me I go big up them barefoot cowman, them cutlass of them favorite weapon. Humble people, but know where you depend. If you want to enjoy the wedding, I'm just a country boy from Blackbush Boulder, letting the world know what is beautiful place, yeah. I'm just a country boy coming from Blackbush Boulder, letting the world know, yeah, oh yeah. Humble people from Blackbush Boulder, we know for fresh load, but enough more than water. And though the sun sometimes make me darker, we no mind weak man can't be no farmer. So mind how you love on top of my place. The rice in your plate maybe come from this place. A lot of people shameful say them come from this place, much less when them reach estates. I'm just a country boy from Blackbush Boulder, letting the world know what is beautiful place, yeah. I'm just a country boy coming from Blackbush Boulder, letting the world know, yeah, oh yeah. I'm just a country boy from Blackbush Boulder, letting the world know what is beautiful place, yeah. I'm just a country boy coming from Blackbush Boulder, letting the world know, yeah, oh yeah.
Well, good evening, guys. Good evening. This is another episode of the Mind Body Connection. It's just after 9 p.m. My co-host is running a little late tonight, because the weather is it's bad. It's raining a lot. So I thought a good thing to do is to start because we have so much information to share with you guys. So again, welcome to the Mind Body Connection. I see Neela Pawaru. Narain is locked on. Rajiv Nandalal, who is in studio tonight. Mrs. Geeta Ramprasad, Geeta Baldeo, Nayan Chunilal, Dolly Shahid, Russell, Nayan, thank you guys for tuning in. I see Jamir Mohammed locked in all the way from Canada, and I do expect him to call in around 9 p.m. tonight. So listen to him. He have a song that he is going to release. New guy on the block. He is all the way from Trinidad and Tobago, so we would be expecting him to call to hear what's going on. Dadwanti Feed Cow, thank you for tuning in. Again, Bibi Ahmad, all the way from Guyana. Thank you very much for tuning in. We got our Varshini Kedarnath, who is in studio too. And guess what? We got a special guest in studio today. And he is no other than Rajiv Nandalal. As you know, he's our son. So he's staying here tonight. I am hoping that he can continue to stick around every Monday night to help tonight. The music might be a little different because he have his computer with us. Okay, so let's start with this program. Tonight we will be talking about dementia, Parkinson's disease, right? So let's start. How you guys doing? Just shout out where you guys are from, and so I can read out a little bit. As I said before, I want to start. We want to start this program on time today because there is so much information that we would want to share with you guys. And so let's talk about dementia. Dementia is described as a group of symptoms affecting memory and thinking and social abilities. So these three things: memory, thinking, and social abilities, severely enough to interfere with your daily life. It isn't a special disease, a specific disease, but several different diseases may cause dementia. Though dementia generally involves memory loss has different causes. Having memory loss alone doesn't mean that you have dementia. As you guys know, that sometimes in our daily lives, we forget things. Like, for example, this morning I forgot where I put my glasses. I could not find it, so I end up driving to work without my glasses. But we are not talking about this kind of forgetfulness. We are talking an ongoing forgetfulness. Okay, Alzheimer's disease is almost most common cause of progressive dementia in older adults. But there are a number of causes of dementia, depending on the causes. Some dementia symptoms may be reversible, and that's sometimes when you get into like infection. That when you get an infection, you can go to the doctor, and that could be reversible. You have cognitive changes, memory loss, which is usually noticed by a spouse or someone else, but not people outside. Because why? Because you're home all the time. Difficulty communicating or finding words. Difficulty with visual or spatial abilities, such as getting lost while driving. And sometimes, we see a lot of older people driving these days, and we want to know, sometimes they get lost, they don't know where they're going. So one has to be very careful who really is driving. Difficulty reasoning or problem solving. A lot of times it's hard for them to solve problems, and that's where, when we as children or as caregivers jump in and try to help them. Difficulty handling difficult tasks, difficulty with planning and organizing. They may not be able to plan their day and organize what they would want to do, and that's a big change from when you're a young person and you become an older individual. It's going to be tough to do those kind of things. Difficulty coordinating and motor functions, confusion and disorientation. We have also psychological changes, personality changes, and sometimes we want to know why sometimes the older person, they're changing. And as you know, that they get older, the brain is getting older, they may not be able to focus to do things. They may have depression, anxiety, inappropriate behavior. They may have paranoia, agitation. As we know, sometimes some older people get agitated very easily. Also, they will have hallucination, seeing things that's not there a lot of times. And then you would want to know, when would you take them to see the doctors? So when you see they're having memory problem, that's the best time to take them to see the doctor, especially if they are older. As I said, some medical conditions is treatable, and that could really stop the dementia right in its track after they have received their care, for example, antibiotic or whatever it is. Also, we want to talk about what causes dementia. Dementia is caused by damage to or loss of nerve cells and their connections to the brain. So you know that you have all those nerve fibers in the brain. Sometimes there's one that's broken, there's something going on inside of there that will cause that problem. Depending on the area of the brain that's affected by the damage, dementia can affect people differently, and it could cause a lot of problems. We would want to know, what is the symptoms? Dementia are often grouped by what they have in common, such as the protein or protein deposits in the brain. Like, for example, how we have plaque develop into the heart and into the blood vessel. We are having here now protein that will develop inside of the brain that was causing all these problems, or part of the brain that's affected. Some disease look like dementia, such as those caused by reaction to medication or vitamin deficiencies, and they might improve with treatment. We have progressive dementia, types of dementia that progress and aren't reversible, like, for example, Alzheimer's disease, which we will talk about tonight, is the most common cause of dementia. So let me say again, Alzheimer's disease that really progressed to dementia. Although not all causes of Alzheimer's disease are known, experts do know that a small percentage are related to the mutation of three genes, which can be passed down from parents to children or to the child. While several different genes are probably involved in Alzheimer's disease, patients have plaques and tangles in their brains. Plaques are clumps of protein, okay, and it's called beta amyloid. And tangles are fibroids, tangle made up of proteins. It is thought that these clumps damage healthy neurons and the fibers connecting them. And genetic factors might make it more likely that people with they may develop Alzheimer's. We have vascular dementia. The second most common type of dementia is caused by damage to the vessel, the blood vessel that supply the blood to the brain. Blood vessel problem can cause by either by a stroke, and as you know, that is really a problem, stroke or damage to the brain in other ways, and we will talk about like TBI and so on, such as by damage by the fiber in the white matters of the brain. The most common type of vascular dementia include difficulty with protein solving, slow thinking, and focus, or also organization. These tends to be more noticeable and that you will see than memory lost. Then we have the Lewy body dementia, which the bodies are abnormal, like it's balloon-like clumps of protein that have been found in the brain of people with dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and Parkinson's disease. This is one of the most common types of progressive dementia. Common signs and symptoms include acting out in one's dream or in sleep, seeing things that aren't there, visible, like we said, visible hallucination. Again, hallucination is something you're seeing something, but it's not there. And you may hear that the person maybe talk about it, and we will say, what's going on with you? And we have witnessed that on so many occasions. Okay, other signs include coordinated or slow movement, tremors, and rigidity, like Parkinson's disease. And a lot of times you see some older persons shaking a lot of times, and you want to know what's going on. We have frontotemporal dementia. This is a group of disease characterized by breakdown of nerve cells and their connections in the frontal and temporal lobe of the brain. The areas generally associated with personality, behavior, and language. Common symptoms affect behavior, personality, thinking, language, and movement. Then we have mixed dementia. Autopsy studies of the brain of approximately 80 person who's older, than 80 years old, who had dementia, indicate that many had a combination of several causes, such as Alzheimer's disease, vascular dementia, other dementia studies also. They are ongoing to determine how mixed dementia affect how they affect symptoms and treatment. So let's say hello to some more of our viewers who's on tonight. My co-host is going to be here, but just that she's taking, there's a lot of traffic. As you guys know, there was a lot of rain that just fell here in New York. My friend, Shada's friend too, Nalini Naidu, thank you for tuning in. Michael, yes. Geeta again is back. Great topic on Island Zone Radio. Your host, Kenneth Rampersad, that's right. And I see my friend all the way from Baltimore, Miss Patsy Nanan. As you know, Patsy is all the way from Parika, but migrated to the United States. I see my good friend, Angela, my co-worker, Angela Baker, all the way in Indiana. Well, my dear friend, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that you will be a regular listener to this program, and I'm sure with all your wealth of knowledge that you can contribute tremendously to this program. Lalita Deoprasad, well, thank you very much for tuning in, Lalita. I have to tell you, I was very impressed. Your husband did sang this weekend, this Saturday, as at our show. I want to say on behalf of the Caribbean Voice and all of us, Shanaz, myself, we would like to extend to you guys. So thank you very much. Your husband did a wonderful job. I hope that you're going to continue to join us. And we can see we got, who else? We got Bibi Razak. Thank you for tuning in. John Namat, our friend all the way from Suriname. Thank you, my friend Ryan Jeffrey. Thank you for tuning in. Our friend Liz Paduman. Thanks for tuning in all the way from Berbice. I know you can't wait to see Shanaz. And may I say that Shanaz will be heading to Guyana sometime next week for the show there. I see John Axbury Shanaz. I think she's locked in somewhere in the traffic, and I didn't see that she locked in as yet. She's driving, and we can't let her text and drive or these things. John, thank you very much for tuning in. Who else? Bibi Khalil, thank you for tuning in. Our friend all the way from Florida, Lee Nye, thank you for tuning in. Malti Bokal, thank you for tuning in. My friend Luis Cordero, thank you for tuning in. And we're going to ask our DJ Arvin to play a song for us tonight. Let's go.
Check, yo, Kurt Brown and Mystic. Yo, we check out the guy from
watching her all night long. Yeah.
This is unbelievable. Country girl a gwan up so. Nah been come, me nah been no. Girl a school ball, but I go down so low.
Me never really expect this. When I see little miss, the girl let her turn and twist. Yo, she shine like a real country gal. Where come till from? Road signal. We never see her whine, much less give a back ball. But this girl could whine, banner. Guess where she come from, Guyana. Don't make style, take a whine, banner.
Let me see you now, let me see you.
This girl could whine, banner. Guess where she come from, Guyana. Don't make style, take a whine, banner.
Yo, hear me now. Me not talk no Sunday school story, but the girl there wine to the glory. Pan rope and door and floor and the girl even a wine pan poly.
Take wine banana, wine up on a girl right pan banana. Make you sing now, girl, just like Rihanna. Play up on your key now, just like Rihanna. Push, dip, wine, push, wine, choke, girl. Push, dip, wine, push, wine, choke,
Me never really expect this. When I see little miss, the girl let her turn and twist. But this girl could wine banner. Guess where she come from, Guyana. Don't make style, take a wine banner.
Let me see you now, let me see you.
This girl could wine banner. Guess where she come from, Guyana. Don't make style, take a wine banner. Look how this girl a go and bar. She catch me real off guard. She used to give me bare hard card. Every time she pass by me, yeah.
This is unbelievable. Country girl a gwan up so. Nah been come, me nah been no. Girl school ball, but I go down so low.
But this girl could wine banner. Guess where she come from, Guyana. Don't make style, take a wine banner. Hola, Kiki could wine banner. Guess where she come from, Guyana. Don't make style, take a wine banner. Oh yeah, country girl could wine banner. Guess where they come from, Guyana. Don't make style, take a wine banner. Hola,
wine, choke, girl.
Welcome back. Guess who I have sitting next to me? On to my left is the beautiful Shanaz Hussein. Well, Shanaz, thank you very much for coming in tonight. I know the weather is bad.
I'm still looking for the person on his left.
That's you.
Good evening. Yes, my partner is on time as always, and I know earlier he asked me, are you sure you're coming? Because believe me, it's so dangerous out there. The highways are flooding. So if you're driving, be careful, be cautious, because there's a lot of fun in the bender. I see the beautiful Malti is already locked on. Savi, good evening to you. The beautiful Geeta Balde, these folks are so excited. They give you that energy to be here every Monday.
That's right. And this weekend we saw Maria Harris, and I can tell you, I was sitting across her. It was so nice meeting her, and all I can see, she's also smiling so much. And you know what? One of the good things is I really do enjoy meeting our viewers. Get to see who we're talking to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so glad that I get to meet you, Miss Harris. I see Gayatri Gangadine. She says, "Good night, Kenneth. You sound like a pro. Man, great job." Well, thank you very much. I tell people all this. I don't let it get to my head, but it's some gas in the tank to continue doing what we do. What I'm saying?
Yes,
the Caribbean voice.
Said it's a lot of work you put into this, Kenneth. You go, you get all the information, you review it, and sometimes it's not as easy sitting here for 2 hours every Monday. Sometimes a friend of mine said, well, you actually sitting there almost 10 hours per month, and we think about it, yes, so it's a rain or sunshine, we are here. We're dedicated for the Caribbean Voice. We are a non-for-profit organization, so we urge you guys to support us with whatever we're doing. And speaking of what we're doing, before we detour on the topic, thank you guys for all of you who came out this Saturday supporting us on the Caribbean Cabana. Those are our true friends, because heat didn't stop them from coming out.
Right.
And you know what? It feels good that we know all of these viewers personally.
Yes,
They
yes.
came out to say hi. They came out to say, a guy was watching me 4:30 on my on Verizon in Astoria,
Yes.
and he came out there 5:30. He said, "I saw you on the TV, but I had to come and say hi."
And he's an older guy too. And you know what I want to say? While I see Lalita just mention something, we have to say, there was a lot of singers who went to this show on Saturday, and I have to tell you, their wives, their children, and their family came there. And Lalita was one of the person. And I talked to her today, and she was like telling me, she was there, and I saw her. But we, without the wife's support, we are nothing. We can't continue doing all that we want to do. And without yours,
I saw them on TV, on Facebook, and they were singing. And I said, these guys are awesome. And that's what our platform is about: giving some folks the opportunity who have the potential, or motivate them, giving them that drive. And I'm so glad that we are here to motivate others and bring out the best in others.
Exactly. So, and Shana, sometimes we don't want to say thanks to ourselves, but I have to tell you this today while I was driving home, and I know that it was so hot that day, and we have to say thanks to you too. I mean, to all the
thanks for you to be there, your support. And you know what I wanted to say? My family came. They support us. Your family came. Your entire household came supporting the Caribbean Voice. If you can't have your family and friends to support you in what you're doing, you have to really think, are they supporting your cause, or are they supporting you as a person? You have to have a good personality to be doing what we're doing. And I'm glad that my family came, your family came, and not forgetting the beautiful Neela Pawaru.
Oh, yes, Neela was
all
there.
Her beautiful family members, and supporting us with the Caribbean Voice. She purchased t-shirts, she bought tickets. We didn't go there for free. Kenneth bought tickets for all of his family members and bought t-shirts as well. So Kenneth, thank you for coming down there. And I know he sat down there for 2 hours doing the live feed, so that you guys out there who didn't make it,
right,
come, had an opportunity. We got calls from Guyana. Satish was watching us from Florida, in Brooklyn. A lot of folks was watching, and they were glad that you were able to do that live. And as much as I said, I feel bad for you sitting down there. Was it even fair that, we're going live for folks who are living in New York who didn't make that attempt to come on down? I think about the friends we have internationally.
Yeah, and Shanaz, I like to do this. And one of the reasons why, when I think about people like Lenai, who lives in Florida, and John Namat, who is all the way in Suriname, and I have Gita Baldi all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. When I think of them, I know that they want to support
and
us,
they
but they're so far away from us. And that's why I do this, so that our viewers on the Mind Body Connection can get to see what we do really. And what I want to say too, and I was thinking, Shanaz, is that a lot of times we are just the face of this show.
Right.
We are myself and Shanaz. We are the face, but behind the face there is so much going on.
We have a lot of members, but we have a lot of members make up the Caribbean Voice. We all have different roles, and we don't overstep when it comes to doing what we do. We have folks doing the media on newspaper. We have some folks doing all the behind the scenes meeting and building bridges. But
That's
we
right.
have different roles. We don't overstep. We do advise each other on how to make our program better and whatever we're doing. And it feels so good that one of the members from Trinidad reached out to me the first Saturday morning. I was actually at the place getting set up, and she said, good luck on your guys' show. Keep up the good work. And it's all about team effort. It's just that we're sitting here. We're offering every week. If you would like to be here, feel free to come on down. We have all the members of Caribbean Voice. Maybe we'll be going live from Caribbean Voice next week in Guyana. From Guyana, you never know who will be joining us on the Caribbean Voice. It's always an open opportunity. And if you can be here, well, we're always here to fill in. John Nima, thank you very much. The beautiful Gita Baldev. Auntie Nalini didn't come. Hey, Auntie Nalini. Indra Devi, good evening to you. And yes, Maria Harris, thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yes, she's absolutely adorable, and that's what I like. Her rich smile. It speaks volume. Also, Harry George, thank you for tuning in.
Harry
I
George
see
is
your
watching
friend
us from Toronto. Mr. John Hassan Khan, good evening. Thank you very much. Lena, thank you. And I know Lena will always support us because she came to Florida event supporting us in Florida. And an upcoming event we are having is August 3rd in Guyana, the beautiful Classic Hotel. Satish called me. He said we're already getting some reservation, some tickets. You know, folks are excited to see Natty and Satish heading down from New York to perform for them. Not forgetting the beautiful Angela Ramutar from Trinidad. So guys, tell all your friends and your family in Guyana to come at the beautiful Classic Hotel August 3rd and support us, the Caribbean Voice. I know Liz will be there. Liz will represent Guyana in our concert. Harry George, thank you very much. Well, what's our topic tonight, guys? I believe I forgot.
It's dementia. Is a whole other topic. And so while we're talking there, I didn't get to tell you today, but I wanted to get to you. We have a caller that's going to call all the way from Canada. He's going to release a song. He's new into this business, I want to believe. So he will call and talk to us a little bit. I think he's locked on to us to... he got a nice song that probably we should play that song now, and we come back and continue. I see Bibi Hack is on.
Good evening to you. Yes, lots of folks. They can't wait for the mind-body connection. Not forgetting the beautiful Auntie Dolari Sigobin.
Yes,
Maureen Mamtren, good evening to you. Thank you guys very much. I believe we should take that track so we all get to listen to it first, and then we'll take the call from the caller. So DJ, let's go.
Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Petals will fall when you walk into that path. You are that special person with a big soul and heart. You are a leader so humble and kind. You gave to another, you never did mine. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. When you are down, you always look up. When you are up, you never look down. When you are down, you always look up. When you are up, you never look down. Get rid of the old and welcome in the new. Everything you do reflects right back at you. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Needed your help and knocked at your door. Look who is rich and you're watching who is poor. Needed your help and they knocked at your door. Look who is rich and you're watching who is poor. The higher you go, the harder you will fall. You'll see who is big, you'll see who is small. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Don't worry about your friends in this world. They are only here really just playing a role. Don't worry about your friends in this world. They're only here really just playing a role. Because in you are well I will defend and still be your friend, friends till the end. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Petals will fall when you walk into that path. You are that special person with a big soul and heart. You are a leader so humble and kind. You gave to another, you never did mine. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold.
Well, beautiful tune indeed. Some things you cherish, and I believe I'll be cherishing this friendship we have here with Mr. Kenneth. He's such a wonderful guy, and all you wonderful folks locked on, we will definitely treasure your friendship.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Shanaz. And so the feeling is mutual. You
Thank
are a
you.
friend for life. You has been there from the beginning, from the time you start this program. And I really do. And a lot of, you know what? And talk about it. A lot of people like the way how we do things together. Me and you, there is no competition. We work together to get things done.
We talk about things. We are always on the same page.
Yes.
Hey, Pamela. Good evening. Good evening. She's watching us from where?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, in the house. You know, whether you're sick or not, can you make it an effort? We encourage each other. We talk every day. Well, you know, are you going to be there? Let's do it. You know, we motivate each other to come here, because when you say you're doing something for a non-profit organization such as Caribbean Voice, we are here for the people, and we do value all your feedbacks and all your comments. And yesterday, as you guys see, we posted, well, it's in our chat box, I picked up 20 boxes of Pampers.
I see that, yeah.
20 boxes of Pampers, and they said, hey, I like what you guys are doing. Don't forget to say thank you. And, you know, we show acknowledgement of what we're doing to the people who are giving us stuff.
Yes, yes.
And they appreciate that. So, Steve, thank you and your family for calling me and the Caribbean Voice to get that Pampers out there. Like, I know organization, but I know Shanaz and, you know, their family friends from Guyana, and they said, come pick up these 20 boxes of Pampers. The beautiful Naomi Ramdas, Bernard Singh, how you doing? Mavis Kisoon, good evening, good evening. It's a rainy Monday in NYC, and yes, Mr. Kenneth had to work yesterday, recovering from our Saturday party. As I always said, we didn't have a big crowd.
Right.
It's
right.
not about the quantity of people we had there.
The
It's
quality.
about the quality, and those folks came out with an open heart to entertain us and keep us occupied as well. And you know what I like, because it was a smaller crowd, we got to meet and actually talk to most of these folks, and we know them personally.
That's right, that's right.
It
And
makes a
it better, it
difference.
does, it really does make a difference.
You get 100,000 people, you cannot know all of them. You don't get the time to take a picture with them or talk to them, but you get 100 folks who showed up, and you know what, we know all of them personally.
And after the show, actually, we made it a nice family dinner. We went right across into the
Caribbean
Cabana, and we eat some
restaurant,
food,
right?
and I was able to take some for lunch too. We see locked on to Chandra Peters, and thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, Rajiv Nandalal is sitting right in our studio.
He's in our studio,
Yeah.
up close and personal.
And you know, I have to say thanks to these guys
It's
too. I
teamwork. It
they
takes the
support
time to
me in
get
all
it
that I do
all,
for the Caribbean
everything.
Voice, and so Arvin and his sister and your
You
brother.
really get a lot
and-
of cooperation from your family, and that's because they believe in what you're doing. They know your heart is out there. It's
Yeah.
going towards a good cause, and you know what, you put 100% into our organization, the Caribbean Voice. So thank you, Kenneth, on behalf of the Caribbean Voice, for being here week after week, every Monday. You know,
Well, thank you.
very
And
dedicated guy.
yes, thank you likewise. And like other disorders like linked to dementia, we have Huntington disease caused by a genetic mutation. This disease causes certain nerve cell in your brain and spinal cord to waste away. Signs and symptoms include a severe decline in thinking, like cognitive thinking, like skills, usually appears around the age of 30 to 40. A TBI, which is traumatic brain injury, and this condition actually Most people get accident, and you will see they will injure their brain. People such as boxers, football players, and soldiers often experience TBI, and sometimes you hear this TBI, but you're not sure what it is. And a lot of times, that's just brain injuries that you will get. Depends on the part of the brain that injured. The condition that can cause dementia signs and symptoms such as depression, explosiveness, memory loss, and impaired speech. And a lot of times that you will find that you will see somebody got an accident, and you will see that they will get very upset. They don't have that tolerance to tolerate people. And a lot of times, as I said, you have memory loss. And a lot of times it happened to like soldiers and even these guys, a lot of guys who do the biking, Then we have the Creutzfeldt disease, Jacob disease. The rare brain disorder usually occur in people without known any risk. The condition might be due to a deposit of infectious protein called prions. And this disease has no known cause but can be inherited from your parents. It may be also caused by exposure to disease, brain or nervous system tissue, such as from a cornea transplant. Signs and symptoms of this fatal condition usually appears late after 60 years old. Then we have Parkinson's disease, which we will talk about tonight. Many people with Parkinson's disease eventually develop dementia symptoms. All right, and we have dementia like condition that can be reversed. Some causes of dementia or dementia-like symptoms can be reversed with treatment, and we can talk things like infections and immune disorder. Like dementia-like symptoms can result from like just a simple thing like fever, and the side effect of the body attempt to fight infection, multiple sclerosis, and other conditions caused by body immune system attacking nerve cells also can cause dementia. And like what you're saying, Shana, someone may get an infection and it may cause them to forget stuff. So now they go to the doctor, they will get some treatment, they will get some antibiotic, and they will feel better.
Infection is very
wide range.
Can we narrow it down to what kind
Well,
of infection,
you
or
could
just
have
generalized
infection.
Some folks don't think pneumonia is an infection, but is it an infection
yes.
of the lungs? So,
yes.
Good evening to the beautiful Auntie Una, Maureen Ramcharan, Geeta Balde, Priya Prasad. Hey, Patricia Prasad, good evening to you. Thank you guys for joining us. We're having some informative information tonight about Alzheimer's, because I thought I was losing my mind. I keep forgetting things, but it always happens. Sometimes you get too busy. So how can we tell if we're getting the signs and symptoms?
You're saying a good thing there. Like I was saying this morning, I think perhaps just before you came, we are talking about like dementia. It starts way after 60 years old. Not like people like me. However,
I should be safe.
I think
in the 30s, you said it's okay.
I think you and John Nimot are very safe.
Okay.
It goes back to like the older people, like those who are 67 years old.
But you said post-traumatic stress could also trigger it.
Yes, all of that could play a little part in it.
Brain injury, like if you hurt your head as a child.
I mean, you're talking about TBI, which is brain injury. Like and you asked a good question. Even as a child, if you get brain injury, it could cause it too. We got many people with Parkinson's disease eventually, like we said, develop dementia symptoms. And we talk about infection that people can get, metabolic problem, or the endocrine abnormalities. People with thyroid problem, and you know that with thyroid problem, it causes a whole lot of problems.
It slows down everything, if you ask me, and it's a trigger for more.
Yeah, hypertension and all these things, and cause so much hormonal problem inside of you. Also low blood sugar, too little or too much sodium and calcium, or problems absorbing vitamin B12 can develop dementia-like symptoms on the other personality changes. And this is why it is so important that when you start to forget things, even at a young age, you want to go to the doctor, or even you get older, which we'll talk a little later. Even when you get a little older and you start to get dementia, one of the things that you want to do, Shanaz, is go to the doctor and rule out what is really causing you from becoming forgetful and all these things.
That will be triggering towards that what you're looking for, not just generalized tests. And then it gets doctors and specialties. Sometimes we have kidney patients who come into the clinic and they think because they come here they're getting everything taken care of. No, that's a specialty. That's a kidney specialty.
That's right, nephrology. Yeah.
You still need a primary care physician. You still have to go to your cardiologist, So
Yes.
we all need to take care of our mind, body. And thank you for joining us here every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. Hey, Mrs. Sateshwar Prasad, we missed you as well. You said you missed us for a few weeks. We missed you as well. And I know Mrs. Sateshwar was pleading for a donation towards the Caribbean Voice. Guys, if you want to make a donation, the address will be in our chat box. You mail a check towards the organization. We do have a non-for-profit organization and an account. I know sometimes folks call Kenneth, they call myself. I don't like to go and pick up cash or pick up anything. If you want to mail a check or write a check towards the organization, we'll be happy to get it from you guys.
That's right. And you know what? That saved you from being in any embarrassing situation. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I'm so glad to collect it. I'm not really worried about that too much. We have to.
Whatever we're doing. I mean, you're
we're
day
honest,
in, day on. We're doing this from. It takes an honest person to do charity work, and
that's right.
It
that's
goes
right.
to our organization. The funds that we get here and there goes towards shipping.
And we're talking about Shanaz, I think anytime anyone, and I'm just going to make this a general statement, anytime anyone steals from people who are giving their money to anyone and we're abusing it, I think it's ridiculous.
It's
We should not.
ridiculous, yeah.
We should not get
You
into
should
this
put
kind of
into
business.
it, and I know with the time and the effort and whatever support we're all giving the Caribbean Voice. I mean, Neela came out there, she purchased tickets, she bought T-shirts, and we're all contributing financially as much as we're doing our time and effort into this.
That's right.
So
Also,
good
we
evening
have.
to every one of you locked on to the Mind Body Connection. We're on Island Zone Radio. Share the link, share the love. Let everyone know you're watching us on Island Zone Radio.
And we're going to go to music soon, but let me finish off with this. Even nutritional deficiencies, not drinking enough liquid. Can you believe that? If you're not drinking enough water, could cause some problems. Not getting enough vitamin B1, which is common in people with chronic alcoholism, and not getting enough vitamin B6, vitamin B12 in your diet can cause dementia-like symptoms. Copper and vitamin E deficiencies also can cause dementia symptoms, and that's why sometimes we talk about alcohol. When a patient goes into the hospital, one of the things they give them is folic acid, and they give them thiamine, vitamin B1. Also, they give them, as you talk, they give them some drip IV saline to help them. Also, medication side effects of medication, a reaction to a medication or an interaction of several medication can cause dementia-like symptoms. And what I'm saying is I'm going through these things. Sometimes it's not good to take 10 medication one time. They can cause with each other, and that is why it's always good. And as you know, we are getting time to talk about this.
So your doctor, you do med review every
every so often.
Every time you go to the doctor and get a new medication, you have to say, Doc, well, I'm also taking these.
Right. And we'll go to that. And a good thing to do is to use one pharmacy so that they know all the medication you are taking. As pharmacists, they're supposed to be able to tell which medication you can take. And what a good thing that they does is that they call your doctor and let them know, listen, you're taking X, Y, and Z, and that does not
go good with labetalol, or
other.
It doesn't go good with this medication. Can you change it and write it? This will work better.
That's right. Also, poisoning, exposure to heavy metal such as lead and other poisons such as pesticide, as well as recreational drug or heavy alcohol can lead to symptoms of dementia. We got brain tumor. Rarely dementia can result of damage caused by brain tumor. Anoxia, the condition also called hypoxia, occur when organ tissue aren't getting enough of oxygen. Anoxia can occur due to severe sleep apnea, asthma, heart attack, carbon monoxide poisoning, and other causes. And it's so important we're talking about this because, a lot of people a lot of guys who are kind of chunky, they will suffer from sleep apnea. And sometimes during the night when they are sleeping, it could lock them. They can't get enough oxygen to go. Then we have normal pressure of hydrocephalus, as we know a lot of kids who get this condition is called enlarged ventricle in the brain that can cause walking problem, urinary difficulty, and minor memory loss. So we have to pay attention to, as human beings, we pay attention to each other.
We should pay attention. Our body is prone to so many. That's why I always say, let's look at our glass half full and not just half empty all the time.
You're so right.
We should be thankful that we have our health. And if we have our health, we have our wealth. Our health is our wealth. It's something you cannot buy in stores. And we are prone to so many infection and so many disease. get on top of it. Your body is priceless. Get your health care checked today.
Shanaz, as we're talking here, one of the good things is that every morning when I go to work, I work in Harlem, and it gives me a good reality check of how life really
when
is.
When you look around, you see folks losing their minds at the
they're
corner.
Sleeping at the corner.
And it makes us so fortunate to see you have a roof over your head, you have friends, you have a family you could get home to at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure something triggered these people to be at the edge. So you know what, before it get too late, there's no better time than the present time to get yourself evaluated and speak to someone if you're going through something.
And sometimes I think, and sometimes we sound like we are so rich and we have everything, but we don't know what tomorrow brings for us. Tomorrow we can have everything today and nothing we have tomorrow.
Within a flash of an eye or a blink of an eye, we could lose everything. And if you have your health, you can also build back everything. And your mind is so important, because you know what, if somebody bring you down, they instead of putting you up, they make you feel like nothing and you cannot accomplish. But tell somebody something good today, enlighten them, empower them so they can be motivated to achieve their goals.
Yes, I think we can be more, together we can be great motivational speaker.
Right.
Anyway, let's go to our song.
Good evening to each and every one of you. Hey, Navin is on. Navin is such great help to me. Mr. John Hassan Khan, thank you very much. The beautiful Patricia Prasad, good evening to you. I hope you guys are keeping safe in NYC. It's raining and I heard it's also pouring in Suriname. We got the international news weather coming up here. Thank you guys for joining us, and it's very important to treat everyone around you with love and little encouragement, because you don't know what they're going through.
Yes, and you know what, let me say, one of the man who we never hear that how much he does is the man Navin. He does so much. He was there collecting ticket in that sun,
setting up all the chairs, washing
so
the venue,
much.
Cleaning the chairs so it doesn't get dirty.
Although you are an inducted member of the Caribbean Voice, you help so much. We do appreciate it. I see Mario Feet Cow is in. Thank you very much. So let's go to our music.
Keeping you guys entertained while we get some information for you. You're watching us on the Island Zone Radio, the Mind Body Connection. The beautiful Maureen Ramcharan, she wants to visit Suriname soon. Well, hey, visit Guyana and tell your friends and family to come and support the Caribbean Voice August 3rd in the beautiful classic hotel. John Nemeth said it's very important to be hydrated. That's right. And on days like today, you do need to get your liquid. Let's go to a beautiful number. Enjoy.
Love your life, live your life, love your life. Love your life, live your life, love your life. Not because you're broke, you're gonna hate your life. Because you're poor, you want to end your life. Love your life, live your life, love your life. Love your life, live your life, love your life. Not because you're broke, you're gonna hate your life. Because you're poor, you want to end your life. And when you're sleeping on the cold concrete, broke and hungry, now no food to eat. Work on 7 days of the week, and only have one shoes on my feet. Remember, time is the master, and Jah is my provider. Real wealth is health and strength. Don't be no suicidal. Love your life, live your life, love your life. Love your life, live your life, love your life. Not because you're broke, you're gonna hate your life. Because you're poor, you want to end your life.
Beautiful song indeed. We believe actually last week we had that artist. He's a new member from the Caribbean Voice, calling in from where again? Tell us. Jamaica.
All the way from Kingston, Jamaica.
That's right. Juanita Khan, good evening to you. Bibi Mohammed, good evening, my beautiful mom in Guyana. She went to the market and she put flyers everywhere for the Caribbean Voice. As I said, if we can't get the love and support from our families,
that's
who
right.
can we
That's
get
right.
it from?
And also, if you want to make a donation to the Caribbean Voice, you can please send your check out to. We just missed the address.
The Caribbean Voice, I believe it's 16. We'll read it
let's
up
see.
later.
As soon as we get it, okay. As soon as we get it, we will send it to you. Also, Concert of Hope Guyana Venue Classic International Hotel poolside. Thank you. BB tickets can be purchased at front desk or call or message 592-621-1111. The cost of the ticket is 1,000 Guyana dollar. So guys, we have our caller here from Trinidad. I'm going to take that call right now. Okay, listening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have our call all the way from Canada. He's originally from Trinidad and Tobago. His name is Jamir Mohammed. Well, sir, thank you very much for calling into our program. Welcome to the Caribbean Voice. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure for me being here. And good night to each and everyone who is listening. Good night to Shanaz. Good night to you. My name is Jamir Mohammed. Jamie. Everyone called me Jamie, aka Malibu. I'm originally from Garfield in Williamsville. That's Trinidad and Tobago, but resides in Canada for the past 5 years. My mom and myself have been writing music for the past 10 years, and this is one of the songs we choose to bring out because, it's easier here, right?
Well, that's very nice. I mean, we get to listen to some of the words of the song. And, anytime you send message of positivity, it's a great thing. And, what's so important too, you're talking, it is so good that you have your mother with you that's helping you writing music and you're the man singing it. What a beautiful thing.
That's right.
Actually, she's the original. She is the original. She is the composer, the original writer. I just helped her with a few things in it, but she is the mastermind behind all the music that I'm going to bring out. So she is she's a blessing in disguise, man. She's a blessing, man. I'm lucky. I'm a lucky guy,
I don't use the word lucky. I would say you are blessed to have your mother alive and helping you.
Actually, for the first time, she is in Canada at the moment. I will be performing at the Chutney Fest in 27th of July at the Brampton Fairgrounds. I will be competing for the Chutney Fest champion. I'm one of the contenders, so everyone could come out and put a support for the song. It's a beautiful song. It's based on true life events that happened to the family, and she just decided to put it into a song, and I'm just the relator of the song. I just relate in it. It's a beautiful number, man.
It is a beautiful number. We played it for our listeners and we played it in the studio. Everyone loved it, especially sending message of positivity. It's always inspiring to others. Keep up the good job, and I'm glad to have you here. As I messaged you earlier, we'll keep you posted to when we have shows coming up to be part of our platform, to bring your talent to our doorsteps with the Caribbean Voice stage show as well.
And I can tell you that we hope that you can join the Caribbean Voice to help share a message out there in Trinidad, Guyana, around the world. As you know, our program is here on Facebook Live and on Island Zone Radio across the world. So having you on board would be a great thing. I hope that you consider it.
Thank you, man. That is something for me to consider because I have lots of music, and it's now I'm starting to come out with the music. All the music is actually based on reality. Everything is 100% original, and it's even more. For me, it's even more better than this actual song that I did.
Oh, okay, that's beautiful.
Thank you for sharing it with us.
Again, and Shanaz is the one who get a lot of things done around here. So Any show that you see in New York, or you see her
Canada,
picture?
I said, well, let's keep in touch and we'll get you on stage, you know.
Oh, you will? Okay,
yeah,
good.
I messaged him. I said, let's keep in touch, and we have his song playing right now on Island Zone Radio. You're listening to him. We'll put that link up in there so they could go back and listen to it as well. And more
Thank
of your
you
tracks.
so much, guys. Thank you for having me.
And I know it's
Good night to
raining
each and
in
everyone
Toronto.
who's listening. Good night to each and everyone who is listening, and soon I'll be in a venue near you. Jamie A.K. Malibu was here.
Wow.
Well, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
calling in, sir. And good luck at the competition that you're going to go into. I hope that you win, and keep us updated on what's going on. Okay?
Actually, it's everything for me. It's about love, and it's about promoting my music. It's not really about competition, but that's the route that I choose to make my debut into the chutney arena. Into the industry. So that will be actually my debut show.
Well, we encourage all the love and all the positivity. You know, putting a message out there. I know we got a little reprimanded for a song we played on Saturday, but, you know, it wasn't planned. And I would encourage positivity and good vibes from, you know, upcoming artists.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, and good night, okay?
Good night. I just want to say hi to my mom. She's listening from Canada here. Hi to my sister in Trinidad. She's listening right now in the program on Facebook, Nadia Angatai. Irman Mohammed, Sirana Kisun, a.k.a. Shoy, the original writer of the song. Mom, I love you so much. Thank you, guys.
That's beautiful. That's so profound. And thank you very much for calling in, okay?
Thank you very much.
See ya.
Mickey Khan, good evening to you. Geek the Balde. Mr. John Nimat said soda is not good. That's right. Drink water. The best thing on earth. Priya Prasad, good evening to you. Mr. John Hassan Khan. Maria Harris. Bibi Ali said it's raining in Toronto. I heard it's raining in Suriname. It's raining in NYC as well. Annie Dickey, good evening to you from Trinidad. Good evening to each and every one of you. It's so good and fortunate when we have the support of our loved ones.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong. You have your mother who's
Writing all these
mom,
beautiful lyrics.
congratulations, and that's so nice that you can do that. You know, it's a good thing when you can have your mother. I see our friend Arjun Madre. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. He's always one of our ardent listener and our supporter of the Caribbean Voice. We thank you so much.
Good evening to Jamir. How you doing? Nadira, good evening to you. Priya Prasad, thank you. Tina Mohammed, good evening. Good evening. Thank you, guys. And I hope that each and every one of you are sharing this link, at least just on your Facebook page. We're not asking you to share it to 100 groups, but just to your Facebook page to show your loyalty, because we do have so many folks locked on and we're giving them all the shout outs and all the attention, and yet it's not on their Facebook wall. So, you know, if you're not here for the loyalty, what are you actually here for? We don't need to keep entertaining, you know. We want you guys to put the words out there as much as we want it to be out there. Good evening to Diana Chunilal. How you doing? The beautiful Bibi Ahmad in Guyana. We're always getting ready for Concert of Hope, and it will be so nice if Kenneth could join us, but maybe in our future ventures. As you know, Caribbean Voice Concert for Hope is just a start out, a little program that we have. And as we mentioned over and over, it's not about how many people you have, about the support we have. I must say we actually did really good on this program. Tomorrow I'll be collecting all the final funds, and it's going towards a really good cause. With all the wheelchairs and supplies we have, doing these little programs give a little funding to us in New York. And the programs we have in Guyana will be staying, all the funds will be remaining in Guyana for all the work. All the legwork is actually being done in Guyana. A lot of work is being done in Guyana and around the world on the telephone as well, because it's free counseling.
That's right, and we know that Bibi, she is not well, but she's still pushing it, and we have to commend her. Let's talk about the risk factors of dementia. You know, many risk factors can eventually contribute to dementia. Some factors, such as age, can be changed. Others can be addressed to reduce your risk. And let's talk about risk factor now. We have age. That we can't change age. Age keep going up. The risk rises as you age, especially if you're older than 65. However, dementia isn't a normal part of aging, and dementia can occur in younger people too. As I said, you know, family history. If you have a family history of dementia, puts you at a greater risk, like so many diagnoses the risk of developing the condition. However, many people with family history never develop symptoms. So not because your father or your mother have dementia, that means that you're going to get it. And many people without a family history, they do get it. So it's kind of strange. There are tests to determine whether or not you have the genetic mutation. Also, if you have like Down syndrome by middle age, many people with Down syndrome develop early onset of Alzheimer's disease. And let's talk about some risk factors that you can change within your own self. You can eat diet and exercise, and we talk on so many programs how if you eat right, it's going to help you. A lot of whole grain, nuts, and seeds. And this is good even for cardiovascular, and we might talk about that a little bit too. Heavy alcohol drinking, if you drink large amount of alcohol, you might have a high risk of dementia. Let's talk cardiovascular risk. These include high blood pressure. And you know when you drink sometimes, your blood pressure goes sky high. High cholesterol, build-up of fat in your arteries, and obesity. You could also get depression, although not yet well understood. Late life depression might indicate the development of dementia. Also diabetes, smoking. We encourage people to stop smoking. There is so much things that you can do now to stop smoking. All you got to do is talk to your doctor. There is patch and there's patch. There's so many. There's nasal stuff that you can use. There is pills that you can use. And also, if you're living in New York State, it is free. All you have to do is call 311 and tell them you want to stop smoking. And they can sell you the gum. You can tell them what you want to use, the gum or the patch. And they can send you all these things free of charge.
And they're only doing that because they know the health risk. They know what smoking cigarettes can cause, the side effects from cigarettes. So they're trying to make you healthier. So guys, cooperate. If you need help, get help. There are help out there. You just have to reach out.
Yes, and I'm glad you say that, because it just reminds me that it's costing the government more money to deal with people with lung cancer and all these cancer related to smoking. So
prevent them and
that's
take them
absolutely
off of it to become non-addictive. They are here to help you change that habit of smoking. They want to make you better. It's costing the government, and yes, it's taking away you from your loved ones.
That's right.
So many folks are dying of lung cancer, lung disease. They know I've seen doctors smoking. Are you telling me the doctors don't know the rights and the wrong? But they choose to do this because maybe they don't care for anyone around them. But if you care for your loved ones, you will want to be around them. You want to take care of yourself, because to become sick and have someone taking care of you, it's almost
Yes, and sometimes we say that but the thing is that you're addicted to these things, and anytime addiction comes in, it's hard. Your body, your brain is calling for these things, so it's very challenging for people to do. Vitamin, we talk about vitamin and nutritional deficiency. Low vitamin D, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, folic acid, as we talk, may increase your risk of dementia. And you know something, today I was at work and I was reading over some work that I'm going to talk about tonight, and we should not be having to take vitamin D, because you get it from the
sunlight.
And if you can go there and get your sunlight, you should not have to take any pills. So I encourage people that always go and get your sunlight. Also, there's people.
It also releases happy hormones by being in the sunlight.
Absolutely,
right? It makes your entire body feel different. So as much as we're sitting here, we encourage you to get outdoor. Read a book if you have to in the park. If you don't want to, you're not a party person, as much as it's good to socialize sometime. Get out in the park, sit down on the stairs, but get your vitamin D directly
I
from
see
the
you
sunlight.
do it all the time when you're on your
I
break.
do it all the time, that's right.
Also, sleep apnea. People who snores and have episode where they frequently stop breathing while sleeping. Also, that could stop. They could prevent that. What you have to do is watch your diet, exercise, and you try to lose some weight, and so you can prevent that from happening.
Speaking of weight, actually one of our nurses gained a few pounds, and he feels so uncomfortable. He's like, he becomes so hard to breathe at night and sleeping. So he came up and he showed me the mask he ordered.
Yes.
To help him sleep better. I said, well, did you run it by your wife? You think she would like to turn around at night and see you wearing that? I know he didn't cause this upon himself, because he is a hard-working nurse, so you don't know when these things creep up on you. You have bad eating habits. So I said, isn't it better to just try to lose some weight before you go into all of these things, right?
Yeah, we have to be conscious of, there's so much different foods around here that we can
It's so
eat.
easy to access the bad foods. It's so easy to access all the junk food that will make your body so unhealthy, and then losing the weight is a challenge. So guys, your health is your wealth. Take care of yourself today. And if you're having breathing problems, do the sleep study.
That's correct. And let's talk about complication. Dementia can affect many body system and therefore the ability to function. It's not good. Like dementia can lead to poor nutrition, pneumonia, inability to perform self-care tasks. As dementia progresses, it can interfere with bathing, dressing, brushing your hair or teeth, using the toilet independently, and taking medication accurately. Personal safety challenges. Some day-to-day situations can present safety issues for people with dementia, including driving, cooking, and walking. And how much time we hear that people lost on the road, they don't know where they're at. You hear their family say they can't find them. They was in a red car or whatever it is. There's an alert by the police. Also, death, late-stage dementia result in coma, and death often from infection. Prevention. There are no sure way to prevent dementia. There are steps that you can take that might help. More research is needed in this area, Shanaz, and it might be beneficial to do some of the following that I'm going to mention. Keep in mind activity, mentally stimulating activities such as reading, solving puzzles. I see a lot of older people do puzzles, playing word game, and sometimes I wonder why they do that. But now you know that it really helps you doing those things rather than just sitting down. You know what I'm saying? And memory training might delay the onset of dementia and decrease its effects. But be physical and socially active. Physical activities and social interactions might delay the onset of dementia and reduce its symptoms. And as we talk time and time after again, that we need to exercise. And every week that I prepare this program, for every program, they're always talking about you must move your body, you must exercise at least 5 times a week. 30 minutes a day at least, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of times we look at people and we're like, I wish I had a desk job, but if you have a desk job, you're sitting there, it's not doing any kind of good for your body. We had a physical therapist who came in and said it's good, even though you have a desk job, an office job, walk around a little often, take breaks in between. It's good for your mind, it's good for your eyes, and it's good for your entire body to get it active, not sleeping,
Absolutely. Every time you move, it's a good thing. Also, preventing, we talk about prevention. It's always good to do things that stimulates the brain, Shanaz. Not just challenging the brain. Yeah, exactly. So
become a routine if you know what you have to do every day. Challenge yourself. Let it open up. As I said, we're not even using the full capacity that we should be using of our brain.
Absolutely. You are 100% right.
We're just using a percentage, so you never know what you have up there until you put
that's true.
A challenge to it.
And I challenge myself every day. Even you're talking about walking, sit-down job. My job as a nurse is I sit down most of the time.
You make rounds around
but I
the clinic.
always walk around the place. I get up if I need a client or I need somebody, anything, I get up and walk to the front desk. So, and I got a phone on my desk that I can use, but I don't do that. I get up and
you
walk.
Get up and you just take the exercise. Bibi Haq, good evening to you. Stanley Ramsden, how you're doing? Geeta Baldev, good evening to you. Sandra Kishore, good evening to each and every one of you. Tina Mohammed, Nadira, good evening. Hey, Mr. Ganga Prasad Kisoon is asking us to play Jamir Mohammed song again. We'll definitely
do that. So in just a couple of minutes, we will play his song once again.
Danraj and Arjuna Madre, good evening to each and every one of you. Good evening. We have the song lined up after these informative information.
Right, and that is just a couple of minutes from now. And let's talk about manage cardiovascular risk factors, like we treat hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, high body mass. And so again, we watch what we eat, and we know that the Mediterranean diet, and you can always talk to your dietitian. We know that it's good to eat salmon. We know it's good to eat nuts, and I'm going to talk about the nuts a little later on. So
fruits
healthy
and nuts, healthy stuff.
eat habits. It's a good thing. Treat health conditions. See your doctor for treatment if you experience hearing loss, dementia, or anxiety. Maintaining a healthy diet. As we said, Mediterranean diet. Also eat whole grain, vegetable, fruits, omega-3 fat acid, which are common found in certain fish and nuts, and as I said,
Tuna, salmon.
That's right. Try to eat fatty fish such as salmon 3 times a week, and a handful of nuts, especially. Listen, guys, almond nuts and walnuts. They are great, especially for the heart. Also, get quality sleep. Practice good sleep hygiene, and talk to your doctor if you snore loudly, which they can help you to probably put you on a diet to help you lose some weight. So you know what? We can probably go back to the song that you guys requested, and we can say hi to Baby Hack. Stanley, thank you for tuning in. Rakia. Our good friend, Miss Una Prasad, thank you very much for tuning in.
And Una is very regular when it comes to her doctor and getting her checkup. And it's, I always tell her, thank you for doing that, taking care of yourself. Because, oftentimes we're so busy taking care of everything else, you forget to take care of yourself.
But your friend, Auntie Una, she always looks sparkling and well-dressed and well put together.
Always.
And one thing I have to say,
always something positive to say about everyone.
And one of the things that I admire about her, she's always thinking about the Caribbean voice and always want to support you. No, I'm not stealing her away from you. We are friends too. And she's a nice lady to talk to.
I don't mind sharing my good friends with you. I share the good, not the bad. I share the good.
She's
Rocky,
a wonderful
good evening
lady.
to you, Auntie Una. Thank you very much for all your love and your support. Thank you guys for joining us on Island Zone Radio. It's a mind-body connection with Mr. Kenneth Rampersad, Dr. Love. Baby Hack, good evening to you. Stanley Ramasuran, how you're doing? Good evening to each and every one of you. If you're watching us from around the world, we have the beautiful
Singh.
Roshni Singh. Hey, Roshni, can you sing? We'll love to have you on the Caribbean Voice. Priya Prasad, good evening to you. She said, I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables.
I see Jamir is still on. Well, he said, thank you guys for loving the song. So, Jamir, they asked that we play a song again. So, here we go. The song by the man from Trinidad and Tobago by Jamir Mohammed.
Living in Toronto. Do enjoy.
Yo, this is JB, aka Malibu. Destiny Studios. Run the thing, no man. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Petals will fall when you walk into that path. You are that special person with a big soul and heart. You are a leader so humble and kind. You gave to another, you never did mine. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. When you are down, you always look up. When you are up, you never look down. When you are down, you always look up. When you are up, you never look down. Get rid of the old and welcome in the new. Everything you do reflects right back at you. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Needed your help and knocked at your door. Look who is rich and you're watching who is poor. Needed your help and they knocked at your door. Look who is rich and you're watching who is poor. The higher you go, the harder you will fall. You'll see who is big, you'll see who is small. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Don't worry about your friends in this world. They only here really just playing a role. Don't worry about your friends in this world. They only here really just playing a role. Because in you are well I will defend and still be your friend. Friends stay the end. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Petals will fall when you walk into that path. You are that special person with a big soul and heart. You are a leader so humble and kind. You gave to another, you never did mine. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold. Some friends you cherish until you get old. Some are like diamonds, some are like gold.
Welcome back. Well, I hope you guys enjoy that song as much as we enjoy that song. And you know, a lot of artists put a lot of energy into their song and a lot of positivity. And it's good to spread some love. You know, love is the easiest thing to give and spread a good message. Arjuna Madre, good evening to you. Good evening to Rocky Ali. Good evening to the beautiful Roxanne Walker. How you doing, Bibi Hawk? Good evening to you. Linai Avida Danraj, good evening for sharing the time with us right here on Island Zone Radio. Maureen Ramtran, Bibi Ahmad in Guyana. She's waiting for Concert of Hope August 3rd. Classic Hotel, and I put the address where you could get your tickets from. In 79 Market, most of the stalls have tickets for sale. That's right, they're supporting the Caribbean Voice as well. They have the posters, they have the tickets, and the tickets are only $1,000, guys. So come on down. And it's most important, if you have someone in need in Guyana for Pampers, walker, wheelchair, do reach out to Kenneth, myself, and hey, Satish already collecting some in Florida as well.
That's right, that's right.
So,
It's
you
a
know,
good-
Kenneth is doing all this hard work. If I cannot pick up something, Kenneth pick it up. If he cannot pick it up, he hits me up and I'll pick it up. Depends who's closer and the time, you know. So thank you, Kenneth. And those 2 pallets are arriving in Guyana this weekend. So hopefully we'll have all the supplies you collected and myself, and we'll be donating to Guyana, the folks who actually need it. And that 20 boxes of Pampers we collected yesterday, thank you, Stephen, for that. Thank you to all the wonderful folks who call Kenneth and donate to the Caribbean Voice.
And also, I always like to acknowledge all our listeners who come week after week to listen to us, to this program, you know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. Uma Ramsarup, thank you very much for locking into our program tonight. So let's continue. And so tonight, you know, this topic has so much information that I want to share. And at 9:30, I'm gonna try to see how much I can put in. But let's talk about Alzheimer's a little bit.
Omar Ramsarup, thank you very much for your comment. We're supporting our young talent, our folks who are spreading positivity out there. You know, not all the music is inspiring and motivating, but this one means something. So thank you, Jameer, for sharing that music with us. You're watching us on Island Zone Radio, Caribbean Voice presentation of the Mind-Body Connection.
And that's right. This is an informational program, you know. And as you said, we want to send positivity, not about
Not
rum
every
and
kind of
so
jump
on.
up music and you know, all kind. There's a lot of music out there. You can look up YouTube and you can find all the music that might attend to you. But this program is very informative and inspiring, and it's hoping to get to a wider audience with
Yes.
a wider mentality.
And let's talk about Alzheimer's disease, its cause and risk. Experts haven't determined a single cause of Alzheimer's disease, but they have identified certain risk factors, like we talk about dementia, age, family history, genetic. Having one or more of these factors doesn't mean that you're going to develop Alzheimer's disease. It simply means that it's going to raise your risk. Alzheimer's, the signs and symptoms. Everyone has episode of forgetfulness from time to time, as I said and you said. You know what? We forget our keys, we forget what we are not talking about that. But people with Alzheimer's disease play certain ongoing. The key word here is ongoing behavior and symptoms that worsen over time, and this can include memory loss affecting daily activities such as the ability to keep appointments, trouble with familiar tasks such as using a microwave, difficulty with problem solving, trouble with speech and writing, becoming disoriented about time and place. Excuse me. And that's why when you go to the doctor, you hear they asking you a simple question: what's your name? What day is today?
They're checking to see how sound
you are. So don't feel that they're stupid, and don't get upset when they're asking you all of these things.
You know, it's sad that I don't want to cut you off. It's sad that I have our neighbor just became an RN, and she's working in a ward that deal with dementia and Alzheimer's patient. And she says, Shanaz, it's so sad to see beautiful folks who can't remember their name, who cannot remember who their family members are. You know, family will come in with a picture and said, hey mom, that's me, you know, and they will talk to them.
That's right.
So you have to value, you have to cherish the life we have and what we have, our health. As Linai said, love yourself and make time for yourself. You're the one who will be benefit from it. All the doctors telling you is to exercise, eat well. It does so much more. Let's prevent ourselves from becoming sick.
That's you are correct. Then early onset of Alzheimer's typically affect people 65 years or older. However, it can occur in people earlier, like 40s and 50s. So you know there is called early onset of younger onset. So now we know that people who are 40 and 50, and we clause it or we say it's early onset of Alzheimer's disease.
But if you see those signs, what are some of these signs and symptoms we could look forward for, Ken?
As we said, forgetfulness, and we're going to go right through. We're going through the, in sequence. Alzheimer's, it's called early onset. As we said, this type of Alzheimer affect about only 5% of people with this condition. So I don't think me and you need to worry about it anytime. And we talk about symptoms as you asked. The early onset is mild memory loss and trouble concentrating. Finishing everyday task, you will see that this person they wouldn't be able to do everything that what you were expecting to do on a daily basis. It can be hard to find the right words, or you may lose track of time. That person may not even know what time it is. You will have mild vision problems such as troubling telling distance can also occur. Diagnosing Alzheimer's patient, how do they do it now? The only definite way of diagnosing someone with Alzheimer's is to examine the person when they are dead, and when we're dead, then there's nothing that we really want to know. But your doctor can use other examinations and tests to assess your mental abilities, diagnose dementia, and rule out the other conditions. They like to start by taking a simple medical history, and they may also ask you for your signs and symptoms and family history, other current or past health condition that you may have. And that's why it's important when you go to the doctor, you know your family history. So when you go there, you'll be able to tell them what's going on, current or past medication that you're taking, because sometimes, as we said earlier, medication can cause it. We talk about diabetes, alcohol intake, and other lifestyle habits. Alzheimer tests, there are definitive tests for Alzheimer's. No, there is none. However, your doctor will likely do several tests to determine your diagnosis. These can be like medical, mental, physical, or neurological, and imaging testing. Your doctor may start with a mental status test. This can help them assess for short-term memory or long-term memory, because guess what? Sometimes we ask somebody, what happened yesterday or what happened the day before yesterday, and guess what? They may not be able to answer you, but if you ask them what happened 50 years ago, they will tell you exactly what's going on.
I can't remember what I had for dinner yesterday, so maybe I have short-term memory. Or they have the memory, like what you want to remember. You know what? I want to remember this thing, you'll remember it.
That's right. Your doctor may start with, as we said, a simple mental health status test, and they're going to ask you what day it is, who's the president. Especially, they like to ask who's the president. And guess what? Sometimes people don't know the president now, but they know the president who was 50
Ronald
years
Reagan.
ago. Yes. Next, they will likely conduct a physical examination. For example, they may check your blood pressure, assess your heart rate, and take your temperature, which is just a minor thing and a simple start for a physical examination. All right. Also, your doctor may conduct a neurological exam to rule out other possible diagnoses, such as acute medical issues, such as infection, as we talked before, and stroke. During the exam, they will check your reflexes, muscle tone, and speech. And what happened when they do that, you know, they have a little hammer that they tap your
They
joint,
check your
the
reflexes.
reflexes. That's what goes on. So don't get upset when you see the doctor is taking a little hammer
I
and
thought he was
knocking you there.
missing a nail or something. So
No. Also, check your doctor. They may also order brain imaging studies.
CT
These studies, CT scan, they can do X-ray, MRI, or they can even do a PET scan. Also, your
but
doctor.
those are all further steps after you do the basic follow-up and checkup.
That's
Those
right.
are like, you don't want to put your body through those images right away. They'll do as much tests as they can before they put you through a CT scan machine.
That's right. Other tests your doctor may do include blood tests to check for the gene that we spoke about earlier for Alzheimer's. Your doctor may also recommend antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication, or antipsychotic medication to help treat the symptoms of Alzheimer's. And as you know, that sometimes patients start to shake with all these
Parkinson's
things,
disease.
Parkinson's, they start to shake. So with this now, they can minimize the shaking and all these things. So that's a good thing. These symptoms would include depression, restlessness, aggression, agitation, hallucination, a decrease in judgment, decreased personal hygiene. Sometimes you see people who they don't do the things that they used to do, like bathing themselves, combing their hair. A lot of times you don't see that. With older people, you will see that mood and personality changes, withdrawal from friends and family and the community, and that's the good time when you want to know, to go with them to check what's going on. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive disease, which means that the symptoms will gradually worsen over time. Right, and we break it down to like the 7 stages. The number 1 is that there's no symptoms at all. Now the other one is that the earliest symptoms will appear, such as forgetfulness. Number 3, mild physical and mental impairment appears, such as reduced memory and concentration. They may only be noticeable by someone who is very close to you, like your husband, like we said before, or your daughter or your son. Alzheimer's is often diagnosed at this stage, but it's still considered mild. Memory loss and the inability to perform everyday tasks is evidence. We have number 5, moderate to severe symptoms require help from your loved ones or your caregivers. At this stage, number 6, a person with Alzheimer's may need help with basic tasks such as eating and putting on clothes. And we have finally number 7, this is the most severe and final stage of Alzheimer's disease. There may be a loss of speech and facial expression, and when that happens, that's real severe. That's where family members will have to put in so much to them. You know what I'm saying?
Good evening, Auntie Una. She said you have to love yourself and be able to love everyone around you and spread positivity. Hey Chico, good evening to you. Good evening to Priya Prasad. Priya Prasad said she cannot go to the gym, but she exercise and meditate at home, and that's what we're all encouraging you to. Light a candle, put some music on, give yourself 15 minutes. We're all worth 15 minutes, believe me. Sit down, meditate. It's good for your mind and body. Sarana Kisun, good evening to you. Good evening to each and every one of you. Gita Baldev, good evening to our Island Zone family. Mr. Anil Singh from Toronto, good evening to you. A wonderful singer. Check him out. He's also on Island Zone Radio. Linai, good evening to you. And if you're watching us from Guyana, the show is August 3rd at the beautiful Classic Hotel. Ish Anita, long time no see. Good evening to you. Mr. John from Queens. Thank you, John, for your services for the Caribbean Voice. Week after week, John downloads our program. He edits our program to make it possible for us to air it on Verizon Fios Channel 477 and Spectrum TV Channel 56, Channel 34. so you guys could check it out on a repeat episode where you can actually sit down, have something to eat, and watch it on big screen TV, not just on Facebook or the gadgets you're having.
That's right. That's right. I want to say thanks to John too, who has always been such a kind guy. He's always there, standing to taping these things. Yesterday we were watching a lot of tapes from the show, and we see
All
different
the
shows.
recaps, right?
And guess who? It was filmed by John. From Queens.
Thank you, John. Mr. Harry George, good evening to you. John Namat, Arjuna Madre, Rocky, good evening to you. The venue, August 3rd, is a beautiful classic hotel. Get your tickets there. They also have tickets. Bibi have tickets. Call that number. And there's Skeldon Market, the 79 Market, have tickets also in Guyana. If you're not living in Guyana and you know someone, just reach out to them and say, hey, come and support the Caribbean Voice. It'll be a beautiful show with Mr. Nati Ramatar, Sateshu Dairam, the beautiful Angela Ramatar from Trinidad. You haven't seen her perform as yet.
No, not at all.
But the Ramatar can really put on a show. So guys, come and support the Caribbean Voice. We have some wonderful entertainer. Not forgetting the local artists from Guyana, because guess what? Guyana have talent.
That's right. That's right.
These upcoming stars will be surprised. They have some wonderful singers in Guyana. AW Lyrical and Nishal B, good evening to each and every one of you. They're always supporting the Caribbean Voice when it comes to anything. And since I've known them, whenever I ask them a favor, they're always there. Amir Khan, thank you for participating in this last week program.
Gunga Ghana guy, eh?
That's right. He brought down the house. Gunga Ghana, Mr. Anthony Prasad, and so many wonderful singers who volunteered their time and their effort. And a lot of folks said, Shanaz, it was going to be a heat wave on Saturday. Are you going to cancel the show? I said, you know what? We have all the artists and all the members who are doing all this hard work. So we want to put it out there. If you value your time, we value your time as well. So we put the show on for those of you who actually purchased tickets.
That's right. And I think I heard Anthony sing one time, but wow, he has such a rich and dynamic voice.
Mohammed Rafi voice.
All right, let's go.
So,
and he's
guys,
good,
we have a show coming up too. It's September 7th. Mr. Kenneth will be there on stage talking about the Caribbean Voice. So that's September 7th, and the flyers on my Facebook wall. We also have the Gunga Ghana guy coming himself from Trinidad. That is September 14th at Amazura Concert Hall. So get your tickets. Let's support DJ Fest on Island Zone Radio and the beautiful Malti. And if you're in Florida, Claremont and Ocala, Chutney Wine is heading that way.
That's right. And we have to support our guys. They sing their
and it
hearts
means
out.
a lot. Yeah, when all the organization work together. They say many hands make light work. Mr. Buddy Singh came to support the Caribbean Voice, and I've known Buddy for quite some time. He's always supporting when I say I'm doing something. He's always there supporting me. So guys, support We Got Your Back organization. It's heading to Florida, and that is Chutney Wine in Florida, August 24th in Claremont and Ocala.
That's right, that's right. And so let's close off on our topic. We're talking here now on Alzheimer's treatment. In addition to medication, lifestyle changes may help you manage your condition. For example, your doctor might develop strategies to help you or your loved one focus on task. This is what you're going to do. Okay, you focus on task, limit confusion, avoid confrontation, get enough rest every day, you stay calm. Preventing Alzheimer's. Just as there is no known cure for Alzheimer's, there are no foolproof preventative measures. However, research are focusing on overall healthy lifestyle, that ways of preventing cognitive decline. And here it is, some of the things that we can do to help, and you can encourage your family to do: to quit smoking, exercise regularly, try cognitive training exercise, eat a plant-based diet, consume more antioxidants, maintain an active and social lifestyle. And sometimes we go to places and we see the elderly with their wheelchair and their cane and their walker, and we say, look at this, these old people have nothing better to do. But Shanaz, at the end of the day, when you think of it, and all that we know now is that they are doing a good thing. They are helping themselves by doing all these wonderful things, using your brain and keep your thoughts working and going. You know what I'm saying?
We have to applaud the folks who make it their job to get out there, because you know what? We need the vitamin D. We need to be out there socializing. It makes you feel better, speaking to someone.
That's right. And Alzheimer is a complicated disease in which there are many unknowns. But what is known is that the condition worsens over time, and with treatment it could help you a little bit. This concludes our talk about Alzheimer's. And one of the things that I really wanted to talk tonight and focus on tonight is how do we take care of people, our family members who have been diagnosed with dementia and so on. We're going to go with a song, and when I come back, and when Shanaz and I come back, we will get down to the bottom of how do we care for them. Let's go.
Harry George, good evening to you, the beautiful Gita Baldeo. John Nimat, thank you very much. Well, Mr. John Nimat, we did. John from Queens had the best seat in the house. He was in front of the stage.
Yes.
Right next to Kenneth. Rizzo, good evening to
Oh,
you.
let me tell you, Rizzo is actually, he's from Cuba, his wife is from Puerto Rico, and they're visiting Guyana now. So I wish you guys all the best. Do enjoy our lovely country, Guyana, but be careful too at the same time.
Wow, Auntie Una, that's really good news. That you're never too old to get married at 96 years. Congratulations, Arjuna Madvik. Thank you. The beautiful Roxanne Walker. No, we're heading to Claremont and Ocala. I do hope to see you there. Stanley Ramsron, good evening to you. Gita Baldeo, thank you guys for joining us on Island Zone Radio. I think you deserve a tune. Let's go. Well, special dedication to all you beautiful listeners out there. Kali Salam, do enjoy.
तुमसे मिलके मैंने जाना इश्क क्या मोहब्बत क्या भूल बैठा सब कुछ मैं तो दिन क्या रात क्या चाहत में खाली सलाम दुआ मुलाकात में चेहरे की रंगत बदल रही है तेरी सोहबत में खाली सलाम दुआ मुलाकात में चेहरे की रंगत बदल रही है तेरी सोहबत में ये तूने क्या किया ये किया डूबा मैं दिल की जन्नत में खाली सलाम दुआ मुलाकात में चेहरे की रंगत बदल रही है तेरी सोहबत में जो खालीपन था जो सूना मन था वो खिल उठा है जाने खुदा बदल रहा है हर एक मौसम बेचैन दिल का जाने खुदा जाने खुदा जाने खुदा तुमसे मिलके मैंने जाना जोश क्या जुनून चैन क्या सुकून है क्या चाहत में खाली सलाम दुआ मुलाकात में चेहरे की रंगत बदल रही है तेरी सोहबत में खाली सलाम दुआ मुलाकात में चेहरे की रंगत बदल रही है तेरी सोहबत में
Well, we do miss our guys in the studio, the little Ken and Kevin. So Ish, Anita, enjoy them while you can. It's summer, guys. Make some memories with your little kids, little loved ones.
जो बढ़ रहा है दिलों का रिश्ता वो बढ़ता जाए है ये दुआ टूटे कभी ना ये सिलसिला अब सारी उम्र बस है ये दुआ है ये दुआ है ये दुआ तुमसे मिलके मैंने जाना रंग क्या रूप क्या भूल बैठा सब कुछ छाओ क्या धूप क्या चाहत में खाली सलाम दुआ मुलाकात में चेहरे की रंगत बदल रही है तेरी सोहबत में खाली सलाम दुआ मुलाकात में चेहरे की रंगत बदल रही है तेरी सोहबत में
That tune was taken from the movie Shortcut Romeo. Babu Sukar, good evening to you, Gita Baldeo, and it was requested by the beautiful Rocky. Hey, Jean, good evening to you. Good evening, Auntie Una. Good evening to each and every one of you. If you're missing your name, just keep commenting. We'll read them. Hey, Dharmendra, good evening to you. Hey, we have Dharmendra locked on.
That's right. That's right.
I hope he's from and he is from India.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you for tuning in.
So that's the Dharmendra, the movie star. I hope. Good evening to each and every one of you. You're locked on to Island Zone Radio. Mr. Kenneth is talking about Alzheimer's today and preventative, how to prevent it or how to take care of it. That's important, as we all need to know how to take care of our mind, body, and we'll feel better.
Are you your friend Anthony Prasad
Mr.
locked on?
Anthony Prasad is locked on, and I just said what a fantastic job he did. In fact, Ken said what a fantastic job Anthony did, and he already got so many requests for him to be singing at these venues. We also talk about his program coming up. The date is September 7th, guys. The flyer's on my Facebook. Check it out, and I hope to see you guys there supporting Anthony Prasad. He's always there supporting us, the Caribbean Voice. Good evening to each and every one of you.
You always tell me so much nice things about Anthony Prasad, and we never get to meet and so on. So here it is, the first time. I think I saw him. I heard him sing one time before. But such a nice guy and has such a quiet disposition about himself. And Lord, he has such a rich voice and so dynamic. I thought he probably could go to India and represent Guyana.
Right, that's
sometime.
right. We'll
Hey,
be nominating him to go to Bollywood for us.
Yes, so let's talk about, there's so much information I have for you guys.
Omrad Singh, good evening to you. Champalal, good evening. Bibi Haq, thank you very much. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying our program, and I hope you guys are sharing as we're bringing the curtains down just for tonight. Ken will give you all the how to take care of yourself.
That's right. In fact, we were supposed to talk about Parkinson's disease too. Unfortunately, it's so much information, and probably we'll talk about it another day.
Before we wrap up, I want to say something. Mr. John from Queens wrote that his parents suffer from Alzheimer's. So what are the chances of John? And John should be taking care of himself, being a little alert, I believe.
That's right. If I were John, like we are not doctors, or you and I not doctors, some of the things that I can encourage him to do, because his grandparents had it, the thing he can do is to try eat a good balanced diet, as all the fish that we talk he can eat, some of the vitamins he can eat. He can discuss it with his doctors.
He's going to the gym
also,
recently.
I see him going to
the
gym, and all of this is good things that they can really do. Exercise, and we talk week and week, again and again, week after week, always encourage eating good food.
Whole grains and greens and vegetables and fruits. They make you feel good, look good, and not forgetting being good.
I welcome Mr.
Roshan Shifcharan. Good evening to you. How you doing?
Thank you for tuning in.
Good evening to you. Yes, he is a great singer indeed, Rocky.
That's nice. I'm so glad that Roshan tuned in. He owns his own radio station. So when we get these guys in, we are so glad that they're listening to us and we're listening to them, and we are supporting each other.
There's a lot of love in our community. We're a very small community, and as Auntie Una said, if we can't love each other and live in positivity, how can we get along as a community?
Absolutely. Let's go. Some tips for how we can communicate with persons with dementia. Okay, you said we aren't born knowing how to communicate with a person with dementia, but we can learn. Improve your communication skills will help take care of someone who's having this diagnosis, which can make caregiving less stressful, and will likely improve the quality of your relationship with your loved ones. Good communication skills will also enhance your ability to handle the difficult behavior you may encounter as you care for a person who has dementia. And I can tell you, as a nurse, I had a lot of clients, a lot of patients who has dementia, and it is so difficult sometimes
You really have
to
to
deal
have
with them.
patience.
If you
You
don't have
have to have
patience,
patience with them.
it drives you crazy. So a lot of help. Set a positive mood for interaction. Your attitude and your body language communicate your feelings and thoughts more strongly than your words do. Set a positive mood by speaking to your loved one in a pleasant and respectful manner. Use facial expression, tone of voice, and physical touch to help convey your message and show your feelings of affection. Get personal attention, limit distractions and noise, turn off the television and the radio, close the curtain and shut the door, or to move in a more quieter surrounding. Before you speak, make sure that you have all their attention, address them by name. Identify yourself, as you said, Shanaz. They may not know who you are. So again, identify yourself by your name and your relation. You can always say, this is your son Kenneth, or this is your daughter Shanaz, you know what I'm saying? And use nonverbal cues and touch to help them keep the individual focused. If he or she is seated, get down to their level and maintain eye contact. And what that means, like how I am same eye contact with you, get down. Even if you have to go to the chair, but don't stand up like you're 7 feet tall and they're like 3 feet tall.
You're talking down to someone. Always be at the same level. And if you have to grab a chair to talk to someone at the bedside,
that's
grab
right.
a chair.
And that's why a lot of times you see the doctors, they'll pull the chair and they will sit next to their patient. State your message clearly and use simple words. Don't go use no big words and sentences. Speak slowly, distinctively, and in a reassuring tone. Refrain from raising your voice at a high pitch or louder. Instead, pitch your voice a little lower. If your loved one doesn't understand the first time, use the same wording to repeat your message or questions. If he or she still doesn't understand, wait a few minutes and rephrase the question. Use the name of people and phrases instead of pronouns. He, she, or they, or abbreviation. Ask simple answerable questions. Ask one question at a time. For those with I or who don't answer you, or that doesn't work at best. So always speak quietly, gently, and don't rush them for any answer.
But sometimes they're very slow at understanding too, and responding might take some time. So be patient.
That's right. Listen with your ears, your eyes, and your heart. Be patient in waiting for your loved one. If they are struggling for any answer, it's okay to suggest words. Watch for nonverbal cues, as we said, and nonverbal body language, and response inappropriately or appropriately. Always strive to listen for the meaning and feeling that underline the words. Break down activities into a series of steps. This makes many tasks much more manageable. You can encourage your loved one to do what he or she can. Gently remind them of steps that they tend to forget and assist with little steps they are no longer able to accomplish on their own. Use visible cues such as showing him or her your hand. Place where to place the dinner table can be very helpful. When the going gets tough, distract and redirect. Again, it is going to get tough. What you need to do is distract them and you redirect them. If your loved one outcome upset and agitated, try to change the subject to or the environment, something that's pleasant, and then you can always move them to a different environment. For example, ask him or her for help, or suggest going for a walk. And a walk is a good way to start. It is important to connect with the person or on a feeling level before you redirect. You might say, I see you're feeling sad. I'm sorry you're upset. Let's go get something to eat. Respond with affection and reassurance. People with dementia often feel confused, anxious, and unsure of themselves. You can imagine, Shanaz, they don't know what's going on with themselves, and they're so they're insecure about who they are. They don't know who they are. Imagine they don't know that you are their child. If your loved one become agitated, as I said, try to change the environment. Respond with affection and reassurance. Let me say, avoid trying to convince them that they are wrong. you
Listen
arguing
to
with
them.
somebody, if you're arguing with somebody who is mentally ill or
You're making them feel worse that, telling them that they're wrong, which is
That's-
they're thinking they're right.
that's right, Father. They often get really confused, and they may recall things that never really occurred. Try avoid convincing them that they are wrong. Stay focused on the feelings that they are demonstrating, and respond with verbal or physical expression of comfort and support. Also reassure them. Sometimes holding hands, touching or hugging, praise them will help the person to respond when all else fails. And a good thing, especially if your mother or your father, you hold them, you touch them, you rub them, and you
love.
said, you know what, how are you doing, mom? How are you doing that? Especially when they're going through all of this. And you know what, you don't want to fight with them and tell them that, you know what, you're wrong. Remember the good old days. Remember the past is often a smooth and affirming activities. Many persons with dementia may remember what happened like 45 minutes ago, but they can't clearly recall. In fact, they would remember what happened 45 years ago, but not 45 minutes ago. Okay. Therefore, avoid asking them questions that rely on short-term memory. You don't want to ask them what happened now. Ask them what happened years ago. They will tell you
Make
all
small
of
talk,
these.
bring up the good times to reflect. Let them reflect on the good times, right?
That's right, such as asking the person what they had for lunch. Instead of trying to generalize question for the person, distant past, or, this information is more likely to be retained. Maintain a sense of humor. Use humor whenever possible. It's always good to crack a joke with the older persons, and they may laugh, and remember they may laugh, though not all on the person's expense. People with dementia tend to retain their social skills and are usually delighted to laugh along with you, whether it's right or wrong. As you crack a little joke with the elderly, they would laugh and they would tell you old stories too. You know what I'm saying? Handling troubling behavior. This is one of the things that we really need to know. Some of the greatest challenges of caring for a loved one with dementia are the personalities and behavioral changes.
Nasima Rohaman, good evening to you. She's locked on from Toronto. The beautiful Roxanne Walker. She said it's a daily chore to take care of her patient with dementia. And I heard Ken and Kevin is having a really good time with their beautiful auntie in Toronto. And Roshan Shifteran is making us all hungry with his steamed fish and vegetables. And not forgetting he has two beautiful kids. He's always spending time with them. As it's summer, make the most with your children. Don't disconnect. At the table, put away your gadgets. Play, as he said, play snake and ladders, checkers, whatever it is to keep your kids together. Family is all we have, and we should keep them at our arm's length.
That's right. And you can best meet these challenges by using creativity, flexibility, and patience and compassion. If we don't have patience with them, that's a whole different story. It's also not, you should not be taking anything too personal with them. Maintain your sense of humor. To start, consider these ground rules. We cannot change the person. The person you are caring for has a brain disorder. And if we think about that in that manner, we can definitely help them. That shapes who he or she has become. When you try to control or change their behavior, you will most likely be unsuccessful or may met with some resistance. You can't change people, Shanaz. You and we talk about this several times in our program. It is also important to try to accommodate the behavior, not to control the behavior. Also, a good thing to do is that when you have these these patients misbehaving, it's always good to be kind with them and to be gentle with them. Know that you cannot change them. You're a way to go. Let's go to.
It can be challenging, but you have to say you're here to take care of them. You have to give them the best you can, and sometimes it's all it takes is patience and love and affection.
Yes, and remember that we can change our behavior or the physical environment. Changing our own behavior will often result in a change in our loved one's behavior. Check with the doctor first. Anytime you see there is a behavioral changes, let the doctor know. Behavior have a purpose. People with dementia typically cannot tell you what they really want or what they need. They might do something they like they will take off all their clothes and on a daily basis, and we wonder why they're doing this. It's very likely that the person is fulfilling the need to be busy and productive. So we have to learn all these cues, and when you have your older person and they're confused and have all of this, they may not know what to do, but you will have to learn all these cues how to help them. Behavior is triggered. It is important to understand that all behavior is triggered. It occurs for a reason. It might be something a person did or said that trigger a behavior, or it could be change in a physical environment. The root to changing behavior is disrupting the pattern that we create. Try a different approach or try a different consequences. Work hard today. What work today, Shanaz, may not work tomorrow. You see, they may be nice today, but they may not be all that well the next day. So you have to be tolerant with them. The multiple factors that influence troubling behavior and the natural progression of the disease. Proceed means that solutions are effective today, may need to be modified tomorrow, or may no longer work at all. The key of managing difficult behavior is being creative and flexible in your strategies to address a given issue. Get support from others. And I remember, I forget her name, but she was on there and she was saying like it could be real troubling and that one person is taking on that responsibility, and it should be really a shared responsibility. Getting the support from others. You are not alone. There are many other caring for someone with dementia. Expect that the loved one that you're caring for, you will have good days and you will have bad days. But developing strategies for coping with the bad days is going to help you tremendously. And again, if you have 4 or 5 children, it's always good to let all your children come and take turns and help you.
Everyone needs a day off. You know, you can't burden one daughter or one child. As the beautiful Roxanne Walker says, once a man, twice a child. So
yes, that thought went through my mind.
I see Mr. Lalman is just joining us from the Sunshine State. Good evening to you, sir. How are you doing? Una Prasad, the beautiful Nasima Rohaman, thank you guys very much. We hope to bring you this program every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. Thank you for your love and your support.
Yes, I see it's after 10 p.m. now. Let's see. Let's talk about agitation. Agitation refers to the range of behavior associated with dementia, including irritability, sleeplessness, and sometimes it could be very difficult when you have someone with dementia and you are trying to sleep and they're up all night. It's no good. It doesn't help you at all. And as we are talking and as we are wrapping up with time, another thing, when you have patients who have the diagnosis, you will have to learn how to help yourself and how to care yourself. As we talked before about self-care, it's very, very important to take care of yourself. Try gentle touch, as we talked before. Do not try to restrain or tie anyone down. If they're agitated, you are going to make that person more agitated. Keep dangerous object away from them. You don't want them to have a knife that they could stab you and hurt themselves, or even hurt you as a caregiver. Because remember, they may not even think or think that's my son. That's right. Distract the person with a snack or any activities. You allow them to forget the troubling incidents confronting. Another thing, if someone like they mess themselves up, they defecate or they urine in the pampers, you want to deal with that in a positive way. You don't want to tell them, curse them out and tell them what you mess up in your pants and whatever it is. You want to do it in a way that you don't make them feel kind of bad, because you imagine that if one of us do that in our pants and someone come and embarrass us,
last week we had a patient at work, and yes, he came in from the nursing home without a pampers, and because he messed himself, he feels so ashamed. He started retaliate against the nurses, being offensive, take me off, I want to get home. He was being so loud, so at the end I went out there and I spoke to him, and then I realized he wasn't wearing a diaper, so he was feeling really ashamed of what happened. So of course the nurse disconnected him. We sent him home in an ambulance, but I called the nursing home and I had a peace of my mind with them. And believe me, the following day they make sure he came properly dressed and with an extra just in case he needed that one.
That's a smart thing to do.
You have to sit there in 3 hours in your own filth. Of course he'll feel uncomfortable. He was being very abusive, but you couldn't blame him because he was uncomfortable, so we had to send him home.
And the other thing is that if you have your relative who has this diagnosis and you see that they're agitated, they are not sleeping, and they're always misbehaving, one of the best things that you can really do for that person, justice you can do for them, is always you can contact the doctor and let them know exactly what's going on. Because what happens sometimes, you can change their medication,
you don't know the
that
side
will help
effect,
them.
or they're not working well together.
Exactly. So, probably we can go to some music, and when we come back, Shanaz, next week, I want to talk about falls. You are not going to be here. You will be in Ghana, so I'll be here alone.
Who will be the guest? No, he's not alone. He's never alone. We'll
All
have a
right.
guest in the studio. Maybe it's a good-looking guy. Maybe it's a good-looking girl. Maybe it's one of you watching us from out there. So you guys would like to come into the studio. I know Mr. John Nemeth is curious. He's very anxiously awaiting to come to our studio. Priya Prasad, thank you very much. Thank you guys for your love, your support. Thank you for corresponding with us on this beautiful chat we have here. Hey, Mr. Joel Jaglal, good evening to you, sir. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's raining in NYC. I hope you guys are safe. Drive safe and be well. We have a beautiful song. Thank you for joining us right here on Island Zone Radio. Well, my heart is beating. Let's go.
My heart is beating, keeps on repeating, I'm waiting for you. My heart is beating, keeps on repeating, I'm waiting for you. My love encloses a plot of roses, and when shall be when our next meeting? 'Cause love, you know, that time is fleeting, time is fleeting, time is fleeting. My heart is beating, keeps on repeating, I'm waiting for you. My love encloses a plot of roses, and when shall be when our next meeting? 'Cause love, you know, that time is fleeting, time is fleeting, time is fleeting. When I look at you, the blue of heaven seems to be deeper blue. And I can swear that God himself seems to be looking through. Zoo, 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 doo, zoo. I'll never part from you, and when shall be when our next meeting? 'Cause love, you know, that time is fleeting, time is fleeting, time is fleeting. Spring is the season that drops the reason of love who are truly true. Young birds are mating while I am waiting, waiting for you. Darling, you haunt me, say do you want me? And if it is so, when are we meeting? 'Cause love, you know, that time is fleeting, time is fleeting, time is fleeting. My heart is beating, keeps on repeating, I'm waiting for you. My love encloses a plot of roses, and when shall be when our next meeting? 'Cause love,
the air for each and every one of you, coming from the Caribbean Voice, Mr. Kenneth and myself. Bibi Ha, good evening to you. Rocky, Patricia Prasad, good evening to you. I hope to see you August 3rd in Guyana, the beautiful classic hotel. Auntie Una Prasad, don't worry. Buddy Singh is coming. Kenneth is going. Ryan Jeffrey is coming. We're all going to Guyana, and the beautiful Geeta as well. Linai, good evening to you. Juanita Khan, how you doing? Arjuna Madre, how you're doing? Good evening, good evening.
You know, I am sitting down smiling in my seat here because Shanaz is singing. But I know what I was planning to do is to put her mic on so you guys could hear her singing. But we're going to get her one day. When she's singing loudly, I'm going to put her on. She would not even know that she's on. Anyway, guys, let's wrap up this topic.
A lot of rain, guys.
That's hard. We need the rain. It's so hot, and I had these guys cracking up. I said we didn't have the son. We had the mother, the father, the son, and everybody else. They were cracking up.
Yes.
Repetitive speech or actions. People with dementia will often repeat a word, statement, question, or activity over and over again, and that's where you have to be very patient with them. While this type of behavior is usually harmless for the person with dementia, it can be annoying and stressful to caregivers. Sometimes the behavior is triggered by anxiety, boredom, fear, or environmental factors. Provide plenty of reassurance and comfort, both in words and in touch. We talk about touch so much that it's always good to touch, and there's a lot of people who like when they're talking to you, they touch you, which is a good thing. I always say,
how are you, Ken?
Yeah, I always like somebody, when I go, hey, how you doing today? It's a good feeling. Avoid reminding them that they just ask the same question. Try ignoring the behavior or question, and instead they try refocusing the person into the activities such as singing or helping you with a chore. Don't discuss plans with a confused patient until immediately okay. You might want to try placing a sign on the kitchen table, as dinner will be starting at 6:30, or John, come home at 5 o'clock, to remove any anxiety and uncertainty about anticipated events. Learn to recognize certain behaviors. An agitated state of pulling or of clothes, for example, could indicate to you that there's a need to use the bathroom. So like I said earlier, you will need to learn all these cues, especially if you're with a patient or a
Sign
client
language,
or your family.
Postcards, these take it back to the basic, like how you're learning your children growing up. Sign language. I was visiting my aunt in the hospital in Toronto. Someone asked me, why do you go there so often? I go to see my aunt, because I do believe in love and affection and nurturing, and going down memory lane with a photo album, talking to them. And as you said, it's good to make a joke now and then. So she cannot speak loudly, so every time you have to talk to her, she said, come, and she'll whisper in your ears. And then my uncle was making a joke. She just want to get close to you, to hug you. She wants you to come close, but she couldn't really speak louder, but he was being silly, and she would smile. She's like, yes.
And that's a good thing. And we talk about communication a couple weeks ago.
And we had these cards of you showing her sign language, and she feel very comfortable. And at the end of the day, the nurses came and she said, wow, you really cheer her up.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And that's a good way to spread love. Even paranoia, seeing a loved one suddenly become suspicious, jealous, they accuse you of things, and is unsettling. A lot of people who are paranoid, like they have their husband or wife, or they have their children, they're very suspicious of them.
So paranoia is dangerous.
This is very dangerous. It's best not to argue or to disagree with them. This too is a part of dementia. Try not to take it personally. We say this all the time. Sometimes when patients used to tell me things like, go back to Guyana, I used to take it so personal. And I used to get so upset, but now I don't say anything. I just take it and smile. And then I said, you can't send me away from here. I'm American now. You know what I mean?
Right. Big up to all the American citizens out there. Mala Duki, good evening to you. Bibi Ha, good evening. Priya Prasad, Rocky, Linai, good evening. The Caribbean Voice Media is on. Good evening to the beautiful Neela Pawaru, and she brought her entire family last Saturday at the beautiful Caribbean Cabana. Thank you to all of you who came there and supported us, Often we have so many people who said, I'll be there, but these folks actually did it. They came to support.
That's right. If the person confused, suspect that you're taking the money or money is missing, allow her to keep a small amount of money, him or her, give them some money to keep with them in their pocket or handbag for easy inspection. Help them look for the missing object, and then distract them into other activities, and quickly you could get them to do that. But sometimes it's very tough to do that. Try to learn where the confused person's favorite hiding place are for storing objects, which are frequently assumed to be lost. Avoid arguing. You cannot win them, and you don't want to really argue to win.
Maybe they put
anyway.
it under their pillow and you're going crazy looking for
Yeah,
it.
and you know those older people, they know where to hide things. They hide it all, and you'll be surprised some of the places that they hide them. You know what I'm saying? Take time to explain to other family members and home helpers and suspiciousness accusation are part of this disease and illness. So, like, if your family come to visit or whatever it is, or a brother, sister there, and your parents or whoever it is has the diagnosis, let them, don't take them personally. Don't let them feel that, you know what, they're correct or what they're saying. Just let them understand what's going on. Try nonverbal reassurance, like, again, I said, touching or hugging, response to the feeling behind the accusation, and then reassure the person. You might try to say, I see this frighten you, stay with me, I wouldn't let this happen to you, and you let them know that no one is going to hurt you while I'm here. I will be here to protect you. Also, we want to talk finally about sleeplessness and restless agitation, disorientation, and the other troubling behavior in people with dementia often gets worse at the end of the day and sometimes continues throughout the night. Experts believe that this behavior sometimes continue and it's called sundowning. It's caused by the combination of factors such as exhaustion from the day, events and changes in the personal biological clock that confuse day from night. So when night come, they may think it's daytime.
What is it called? Sound?
It's called sundowning.
Sundowning, guys.
Yes.
So when you feel like the nighttime is coming and you're forgetting everything.
Yeah. And it's real to them. Increased daytime activities, particularly physical activities. And sometimes, although they are sick and they have dementia, they can walk. A lot of them can walk. And what you could do, you can take them out for a little walk, and that would get them tired. And when they get tired, guess what they do at night?
Take a nap. They will sleep through. You don't need medication. Thank you, Ryan. Jeffrey, the rain did it well. I haven't combed my hair since, I don't know, Saturday.
And
Really?
And I brought a comb there for you. Look, the blue comb I have there for you. I said, if you need it, look at that. I put a comb for Shanaz if she needed this there.
Maybe he's telling me sign language. My hair is very messy, and Ryan is saying my hair looks good. Well, I haven't combed my hair since Saturday.
Yes. So another thing that we don't want to do with the elderly is to try to take naps during the day. Because what happens if they nap a lot, like late in the afternoon or so, what happens is that they will end up, they would not be able to
restless and tired.
Exactly. So a good thing to do is take them for activities, to go walk and to do things. Get them involved to play games in the house or do things to get them a little bit tired.
Good,
to get them tired, and so that when the night come, that they can sleep. Discourage inactivity and napping during the day. Watch out for dietary culprits such as sugar and coffee and all these junk food. And when they eat all of these things, what happens, Shanaz? You give them Cadbury or these things, chocolate. When they eat it, guess what? At night, they're jumping up all over the place. When you want to sleep,
sugar rush. When you want to sleep, they're up and about.
That's right.
Folks, if you're going to be sleeping, and I don't know how folks sleep at day. I can't sleep during the day. I have to be up and about. So even at night, I go to sleep at 1 or 2. I'm always up doing stuff. And that's,
Oh, Lord.
And some folks love to sleep during the day, and then you cannot sleep at night.
Right.
Mess up my sleep patterns. So.
Turn on the lights well before sunset and closing the curtain at dusk will minimize shadows and may help diminish confusion. So when we're saying take off the light, you put your curtains up, and what happens, it makes the room darker. You know what I'm saying? At a minimum, keep a night light in the person's room, hallway, and bathroom. And next week we will be addressing all of this. In terms of safety, next week we're going to talk about safety. Make sure that the house is safe. Block all stairs with gates. Lock the kitchen door and put away other dangerous items. Like we said, you don't want while you're sleeping they come and they take a knife and stab you. You know what I'm saying?
Put away all the dangerous and sharp equipment.
Because, as I said, they could have hallucinations and they could really come and hurt you.
Maybe they're having something else awakening in their minds while you're sleeping, and you don't know what they're going through. You can't tell their minds, and they might think that you're endangering them.
Absolutely. At the last resort, consider taking them to the doctor about medication to help the agitated person relax and sleep. Be aware that sleeping pills and tranquilizers may solve one problem and create another, such as sleeping at night and being more confused during the next day. And you know, sometimes with the experience that I have, you give patient medication in the night to sleep, and then they wake up in the next day and they're so confused. It's essential that you, the caregiver, get enough sleep. If you, your loved one, have nightmare, nighttime activity, keep you awake, consider asking a friend, a brother or sister to help take care of the family, and don't let the burden be on one person alone.
Always shift it. Take by turns. 4 hour I'll do it, then 4 hour you could do it, because it's a burden and it's a lot of responsibility taking care of someone who's suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia.
And I know that I think I can probably talk a little bit about this now, and especially in the United States, Shanaz, there is so much home care that you can get with your family.
Right, you can
keep them home.
You can get paid taking care of your loved ones. That's a wonderful program that I know the government put in place.
That's right.
And you don't have to do it for free. You love taking care of someone, apply through the program and get paid.
That's right. If your mother, your sister, or your husband, the government will pay you to take care of them. And one of the good thing about that is that it's cheaper for them to have you taking care of your family home.
Especially when it comes to the language, because we have home attendants who come in. We have a Spanish home attendant coming with an Indian patient. They can't communicate.
Yes.
So we try to pair them with somebody who speaks the same language, or then we have to get the hotline on the telephone.
Ryan, no, I'm not going to touch her here. I have boundaries. I'm just playing with you. Don't worry. Anyway, guys, that's we wrap up there for tonight. There were so much more I want to talk. I'm going to review all that I said and what I did not say.
There's so much more, and we always have new listeners and viewers around the world. Share the link, share the love. Kenneth will be here next week with a secret guest. He doesn't know who it is, but it's somebody to keep you guys entertained and informed as well. Good night to Auntie Una Prasad, the Caribbean Voice Media. Who could that be? The beautiful Neela Pawaru, Bibi Ahmad, and so many wonderful folks. Mr. Harry Shivdat was also there representing the Caribbean Voice. So thank you, Harry, for taking time out of your day and come on down and support the Caribbean Voice.
Also, guys, don't forget to sign the petition on the Caribbean Voice page.
We'll be sharing it on our personal Facebook page. Sign it. It makes a lot of difference. So good evening to each and every one of you.
The school project. We have a school project, and we're looking for donations of.
We're still asking you guys if you have a used computer to call us. The Caribbean
school
Voice
supplies.
Will be there to pick it up. It's school time. Remember, it's school is
will
off,
open soon, yeah.
and it'll be open soon. But spend a lot of times with your loving kids. Remember, the time you spend with them is gonna make memories for tomorrow. It's so easy to get carried away with our day-to-day routine, our day-to-day jobs and family and friends. But if you have a friend or a family who's taking you away from your family and your children, they're being selfish. Spend time with your kids. The kids need you more than the adults and the party friends. So remember that summer will be gone, and you have to make memories with your loving kids.
That's right. And so, guys, we want to say thank you very much for tuning in to our program, The Mind-Body Connection, that's brought to you by the Caribbean Voice. And as you know, we deal with suicide prevention and domestic violence, among so many other things. And on this note, I would like to say, Shanaz, thank you so much for all that you're doing. To Anand, thank you so much. So much people want to.
Team behind the scenes.
Yes,
they're always sharing what we're doing, and they're always different people doing different things. You might see Kenneth and myself here on Mondays, but because we're close by, we're here in the studio. We have members in Trinidad, in Jamaica, in Guyana, and they do different things. In India as well, but they're all doing different things. And our founder, Mr. Anand, is behind the scenes, overseeing all of this, putting things in place, and correcting or doing a lot of writing for all the articles we have going out and research. And I said before we end our topic on the research, Caribbean Voice found out turmeric is very good also for Alzheimer's.
That's right. And Shanaz, today, that you talk about that, I was thinking probably we should have, I'm going to talk to Anand probably, or if he's hearing, we can have a little small segment about some of the things that's good for us to eat, and that's what's healthy to eat, what I'm saying?
That's right. And if you would like to share a picture of what you're having for dinner, put it in our chat box. It will inspire us to cook better. As Roshan said, he's eating a lot of steamed stuff, not fried, steamed, baked, and vegetables, not forgetting fruits and nuts. Kenneth also changed his diet, and I see you looking much better. He's drinking lemon water, which is very healthy, keep you hydrated, and keep all the toxins out.
That's right. It helps to clean your liver too.
Right. And he's looking better every day. Your body is, your body is yours. That's your gold mine, I should say. Take care of it today.
That's right.
Your body, your mind. Until next time, we love you. Take care of yourself and each other.
And thanks to all of you, all our listener. If we have not say hello to you, don't forget, come back next week, and always keep writing, say something, and hope we'll catch it, because it's going so fast. You know.
Bacchus, good evening to you. How you doing? Kavita Deuchan, good night, Rocky. Some of the names are so familiar because they are regular viewers from around the world. We have viewers from Suriname. Who's in Suriname?
We got John is there.
Who's in Suriname. Oh, there you go. John Nimit is from Suriname. We
That's
have
right.
the beautiful Nasima Rohaman from Toronto, and around the world you guys are watching us. Rocky, how are you doing? Good evening to each and every one of you. And this guy name ring a bell, Mr. DJ Fest. It's sounding very familiar to me.
Yes, that's the man behind Island Zone Radio.
And he said, guys, there's a Gunga Ghana guy coming down to Amazura September 14. You don't want to miss that. Gunga Ghana is Ken's favorite song. And we'll see you September 7th in Queens for the Rafi. It's an old meets new Bollywood selections. And Mr. Kenneth will be there, as well as the beautiful
Yes, I want to hear that guy sing the song.
So guys, good night. Thank you for joining us. Please share. We'll be checking out the Facebook to see who's sharing.
Yes.
And if you're sharing, it shows you appreciate our program and you're sharing the love.
That's right. And don't forget, next week we'll be talking about safety and falls, but more so falls, how much it costs the United States government.
Right. You fall. Hey, dear Roy, good evening to you. Naina Chandal, how you doing? Nasima Rohaman, good evening to you. I believe we'll be having baked salmon with some chana and salad for dinner. That's Ken's favorite dish when it comes to having a late night dinner.
Yeah, and Dia was so lucky last week when in fact Saturday, while I was taping and going live, I see she requested your friend sing a song for her, and I just took the phone right to him and was so gracious enough to play it for her. So she was just in time to hear her song.
The folks and the people we deal with are full of love, and because when you surround yourself with love and positivity and cooperation, that's what you get. It always seems the universe will throw back whatever you throw at it. So throw something positive, be accepting, appreciative, have an attitude for gratitude, love someone today, and the universe will throw all those things right back to you.
That's correct.
Coming from Dr. Love.
I like that, Dr. Love.
Until next time, good night, guys. Share the program, and we hope to see you next week, same time, same channel, Island Zone Radio. It is 8 to 10 p.m. 5 minutes of your time can save a life.
That's
Suicide
right.
prevention is everybody's business. Be involved. Get out there and do something. Until next time, take care. Take our survey from the Caribbean Voice. God bless. Take care. Where is our DJ tonight? Well, happy birthday to the beautiful Dia Roy, coming from the Caribbean Voice team, Mr. Kenneth, Shanaz, and the wonderful viewers we have around the world. Not forgetting the beautiful Neela Pawaru and Bibi Ahmad, the Caribbean Voice team in Guyana as well.